In this video, we'll discuss managing fees. This video takes off directly from the check types video. If you haven't already gone through the check types video, you're going to want to go back and do that. Go ahead and select the fee manager from the sidebar. This manager is broken up into two sections: the fee types and the fee rules. In the fee types, you'll see the business type that we added in the check types video. Go ahead and select it, and then you're going to want to click the Add Fee button in the toolbar and get the Add Fee dialog. Using this simple dialog, you can enter in the name of a fee. Very often you're going to find that you're going to want to set up a fee for new customers, normal customers, and high-risk customers. But of course you can add any additional fees that you like in any categories that you like. But for this example, go ahead and enter new customer. Then repeat the process for normal and lastly high risk. Though we don't have to do it here, if you wanted to change the display order of the types, you could do so using the order button. We're now ready to enter in a fee rule. Go ahead and select New Customer under your business type, and you'll see that a single rule has automatically been added. Select to edit that rule, and you'll see a dialog appear. This rule editor dialog has a lot of information on it, and we'll go over it in detail here. But if you want more help, move your mouse over any particular field and you'll get a detailed explanation of what it is and how to use it. A given fee type, like new customer, can have more than one rule. The amount and up input box allows you to specify what range this rule will apply to. The number you enter is the bottom of the range. If you wanted to charge a certain amount for checks over $1,000, you would put in $1,000. For this example, we'll put in two rules, one for business checks under $100 and one for business checks over $100. So for this very first rule, we're going to leave this at 0. And in the next one, we'll set it to $100. Each rule can have two types of fees associated, a flat fee and a percentage. In this example, we'll charge $1 flat fee for checks under $100 and a percentage of 2%. Later, we'll set a flat fee of $2 for checks over $100 and keep the same percentage. In the rounding section, we can define how we want to handle handing cash back. Let's say, for example, that your business model states that you're only going to hand back whole dollar amounts. The keep change option here under round type would do just that. If you owed a customer cash back of $100.25, this would automatically round it to $100 that you owed them back, thus increasing the fee and decreasing the cash back. Next three choices, nearest amount, up, and down, all use the round to input box. In the keep change example, we were always rounding down to the nearest dollar, but if we wanted to round down to the nearest 25 cents, we'd simply select the round type of down, and in round 2, we would simply put 25 cents. Changing this to up would round up to the next 25 cents. And then nearest amount would round up or down to the nearest 25 cents, depending on which one's closest. So you'd always end up with a 25-cent increment. For example, if our cash back was $100.55, using this rule, it would round to $100.50. If our cash back was $100.70, it would automatically round up to the nearest 25 cents and be $100.75. For our example, we're just going to turn rounding off and move on to limits. Limits are the limits that you would charge in fees. In our example here, we're charging a flat fee of $1 and a percentage of 2%. So on a $100 check, that would come to $3. But let's say we always wanted to charge a minimum of $3. If someone walked in with a $50 check, the percentage would be less. The percentage would be less because the check amount is less. This minimum would automatically set a bottom amount that would be charged. Maximum does just the opposite. If you wanted to set an absolute upper limit for what you might charge for a fee, you would set it in the maximum, and in fact some states and municipalities have such limits. So if you never wanted to charge more, for example, than $25 for a fee, you would input $25 here. For our example, just clear out the maximum and go ahead and click Finish. Now we've successfully defined a rule for new customers under business, and if we were to leave it exactly like this, basically what it would say is, for any amount 0 or up that I cash a check for, I'm going to have a flat fee of $1 and a percentage of 2%. Now in our case, we want to make a second rule for checks that are over $100. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a new rule. But one thing that we can do that's kind of nice is we can duplicate this rule and then make a tiny change to it. Here we see an exact copy of the previous rule. But in this case, we want to deal with checks that are only $100 and up. And we're going to charge a little more for the flat fee and make it $2. Closing up that dialog, we can now see that we have two rules for this particular check type under business. For a new customer, we charge a $1 flat fee and 2%, and for checks over $100, we charge a $2 flat fee and again 2%. We could then go on and do the same thing for normal and high risk and any other fee types that we care to add. In the Desktop 5 system, there is no upper limit to the number of check types, or fee rules that you can have. If you would like to have 15 fee rules for a given type, that's perfectly fine. The system's designed to be as flexible as possible to allow you to charge your customers the way you want to charge them. But remember, before you set your fees, you're going to want to check with your state and local municipality for any rules and regulations they may have regarding the fees that you can charge for cashing checks.